We did in part 2 if it's not factorized. Okay, we did in part 2 if it's not factorized, that first I need to factorize it. I could have a visible factor. We did before. We did also when I have identities, and now part C. Okay, if I don't have a visible factor, I cannot see it. Okay. If it's not an identity, what can I do? I could do it by using the sum and product, but I need to have a special form. So let's do it. If it's ax squared plus bx plus c, but here a is 1. So for the sum and product, I have two cases. I need to be very careful for this. I have when a is 1, when a is not 1. Here in this video, we're just going to work when a is equal to 1. And here I have x squared plus bx plus c. The sum product method is, what is this method? You need to find two numbers. I will call those numbers m and n. If I add them, they will give me the answer of b. And if I multiply them, they will give me the answer of c. So in this case, I can factorize my quadratic equation by x plus m times x plus n. And look guys, now I'm back to my, as I'm saying, x-intercept form or the factorized form. Then we can solve each parenthesis equal to 0. So again, I will repeat. I will find two numbers. Their sum is b, s is b, and p is the product is c. Then I will be able to factorize by doing x plus m, x plus n equal to 0. Let's do it with an example. So example, let's start with the first example. I have x squared minus 5x minus 36. I look at b, it's minus 5. I look at c, is minus 36. I need to think about two numbers. If I add them, it will give me minus 5. Which two numbers, if I add, it will give me minus 5. If I do the multiplication, it will give me minus 36. So you need to think about two numbers. If I do plus, it's minus 5. If I do times, it's minus 36. So first, when you see that they are both negative, the sum and the product, it means sure that the numbers, one is positive, one is negative. So if I try minus 9 and 4, if you add minus 9 plus 4, it will give me minus 5. So it's like B. So my sum is like B, yes. Now if I multiply minus 9 times 4, it's minus 36. So yes, my product is equal to minus 36. That's why we call it sum and product, because we are doing the sum and the product. Now I can factorize my, and this is my m, and this is n. I did here m plus n. It gives me b. I did here m times n. So directly I write x plus m, x plus n. So x plus minus 9, so x minus 9, x plus 4. Factorize. Now I'm back to my preceding cases. So I will take x minus 9 equal to 0 gives me x equal 9, or x equal minus 4. X plus 4 equals 0 gives me x equal minus 4. Don't worry guys, we're going to do many applications for this one. Let's go to another example. I'm going to do more examples, guys. So let's go to another example. Another example. I have x squared minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Again, sometimes it's impossible, guys. It's not all the time possible. So can I find two numbers that give me the sum if I add them minus 7 and the product 10p, 10? So it's very easy to think about p first. Which two numbers, and all the time think about p. Which two numbers if I multiply gives me 10? Or 5 times 2, or for example 10 times 1. But 10 times 1, if I add them, it will not give me minus 7. 5 times 2 gives me 10. But if I think about 5 times 2, just 5 and 2, if I add them, it's 7. And I need minus 7, so it's minus 5 and minus 2. So my two numbers, if I add them, gives me minus 7, it's minus 5 and minus 2. If I multiply them, it will give me 10. So I found them. So this is m, and this is n. So all the time, think first about p. It's easier. The product, and which two numbers if I multiply gives me 10. 5 times 2 or 10 times 1. I don't have any other choice. They should be whole numbers, and I will not give you something really hard, really complicated. They should be really whole numbers. And then, so this is m, this is n. So x minus 5, x minus 2, x plus m, so x minus 5, x minus 2. This one is equal to 0, gives me x equal 5. This one equal to 0 gives me x equal to 2. I will go back 1 minute to the preceding example to check for you that it's multiplication first, it's easier. So if I look, which numbers give me 36 if I multiply? If you're gonna try to think about it, okay, I'll start to think. 36 times 1. But it will not help me because if I add them, it's not 5. So this is wrong. There. I will go 6 times 6. 6 times 6, it will not help me. And it will not give me 5 if I add them. So this is wrong. So I go to 9 times 4. But 9 times 4 gives me 36, not minus. So I'm going to need to put minus for one of those two. If I put minus for the 4, if I add them, 9 plus minus 4 gives me 5, not minus 5. So I should put the minus for the biggest. So minus 9 times 4 gives me 36. And then if I add them, it gives me minus 5. So all the time when I start with the multiplication, it is much more easy. Okay, and I'm going to give you more examples. On the PowerPoint, I don't think we still have examples here. Those are the two examples that I have here. So I'm going to give you now another example I'm going to add more examples. Okay, so let's do some examples here. I'll do two more examples. Trying just to open I'll close the PowerPoint. I don't need it. This is the recording. Okay, that's it. Now I will give you two examples. Let's try to do, for example, if I said x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. So as we said, I need this one to be the sum and this one to be p. All the time, start by p, as I told you. Which two numbers, if you multiply, gives me 5? I don't have any other choice than 5 times 1. 5 times 1, let's say. 5 times 1 gives me 5, so it gives me c. Let's see for the sum. If I add them, what will happen? 5 plus 1, oh, it gives me 6. So it gives me b. So that's it. So my m and n are 5 and 1. So it will be x plus 5 times x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then I will solve. I will have x plus 5 is equal to 0. It means x equal to minus 5. Or the second one, x plus 1 is equal to 0. It gives me x equal minus 1. I will do one more. Guys. Let's do one more example. I will try to do, okay, this one I like it. X squared minus, let's say, 13x plus 22 is equal to 0. I will try to find two numbers that gives me, this is s and this is the p, and the sum is minus 13 and p is 22. If I think about p first, all the time p, which two numbers when multiply gives me 22? I directly can see 11 times 2. If I add them, 11 times 2 doesn't give me 13. It doesn't give me minus 13, guys. It gives me 13. So I need to do something with the sign. If I do minus 11 times minus 2, it's 22. And if I add them, if I do minus 11 plus minus 2, what is my answer? Oh, it's minus 13. So it works. So finish. I got my m and n. This is m and this is n. So and then I can write it x minus 11 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So I will have, this one will give me x minus 11 equal to 0. It gives me x equal 11, and this one will give me x equal to 2. Guys, we're going to do more and more and more and more exercises in the class. I just do one more and I'm going to show it to you what will happen here. If I have x squared plus 2x plus 4, I need, as I said, two numbers that they give me. If I add them 2, and if I do p, it gives me 4. So I will try to think about it. 4 times 1. Let's start 4 times 1. If I add them, it's not 2, so it doesn't work. Let's think about 2 times 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. If I add them, it gives me 4. It doesn't work. So if I said minus 2 times minus 2, it gives me 4. But if I add them minus 4, it doesn't work. Up here, if I had minus 4 and minus 1, it gives me 4. If I add them, minus 5. Do you have any other two numbers that if I multiply gives me 4? No, I cannot find. So this one cannot be factorized. So cannot be factorized. So as I told, sometimes I cannot factorize, cannot be, so I cannot solve it equal to 0. Okay, so that's it, and we're gonna do more application